Hey everyone, so today I'm going to give you a quick introduction to Twine. So Twine is a web-based software that allows you to create interactive stories. So you can create either games or anything like that. So you can either use it online or you can download it for either Windows or Mac. You can access that at twinery.org. So over in the corner there's the download tab over here, so you can just either download it. Once you download it for Mac, it'll download as a zip file, and you just unzip it and then you can just drag it over to applications. So once you open Twine, a new story will look like this. So this is a new story, so it starts with the 3 passages here. This is also Twine version 1.42, not for Twine 2, that's a little bit more advanced. So this is for more of a basic story. So the 3 passages that start here, there is start, story title, and story author. These are the titles of the passages, and you have to leave those as is. They cannot be changed, otherwise it'll change all the settings and preferences for it. So you can double click on the start passage here, and so let's start writing a story. You have just woken up. You are hungry and thirsty. So then you have to choose what to do first. So you do double square brackets, and then you can say grab some breakfast. Oops, breakfast. Or get a glass of water. So these square brackets, once you type something in that, these square brackets are going to create another passage. So these sentences are going to be clickable on the final story. So if they go red right after you type them, then you know you've done it right. So then you can just go ahead and close this, and it's going to ask you if you want to create passages. So you just click yes, and now you have grab some breakfast and get a glass of water. If you don't want it to say grab some breakfast and you only want to say grab a breakfast, what you can do on that initial passage, after breakfast, you can insert a vertical bar, which is found next to the backward slash on the same keystroke, and then you can just say breakfast. And then do the same thing here, water. So now this is what's going to be shown as clickable on that screen, but breakfast is the title of the passage that's going to show up. So you can go ahead and close that, and it'll say yes. So now these two are not linked to anything. You see these lines? These are linking here. So these we can go ahead and delete. Just right click and delete those. So now we're going to keep on adding passages, and so here for breakfast, you have just had some breakfast. No, some breakfast. What would you like to do next? Let's say you want to go for a. Then you can also go for a walk. Let's say so. You can put a line and just say walk, same as before. And then let's say you want to go for a run instead. So this will continue adding 2 more passages. So it's good to keep your map as organized as possible. This is what's called a map. What you can do is also clean up passages under view, clean up passages. So if they're all over the place, you can clean up passages. It'll organize them. Right now I have it snapped to grid. If you unclick that, you can put them anywhere and they don't click like on a 1-to-1 ratio. So when you do clean up passages, you see they'll kind of snap to it. So after breakfast, you want to walk or run. Once you keep on adding passages and passages, you'll eventually end up with a very detailed story map. This is for a story that I did. So you can see how they get very intertwined and very detailed. If I zoom out, you can see, oops. So it can be a very detailed map and keeps going on, and all the passages go back and forth. So I'm going to leave a link to the game that I created here in the at the bottom here if you want to take a look at that. So you can keep on going, and so so the story title, let's call our story Waking Up. And then story author, let's call ourselves InterMedia. One of my favorite things about Twine is that to see what your game looks like, you don't have to save it and export it and then open it in a different file. What you can do is just under the build section here, you just build story and it'll allow you to save it. So let's just save it as new story for now. And oops. So it's just going to open it up as an HTML file online. So this is what the game will look like right now. So this is in the format of sugarcane. I'll show you how to change that in a second. So see, so now you can click on either option. So either option will bring you to the next passage. We've only created one passage for now, so let's just look at grab some breakfast. So see, now you can do, you've just had some breakfast, what would you like to do next? Go for a walk. So once you click this, it'll, if we had writing in the next passage, it would bring us to this. Otherwise, you can click restart and then, don't worry about that, that just means that the game hasn't been finished yet. So when you go back over to Twine, you can keep on adding passages and passages, and it'll keep on saying more and more. So you see how the waking up in the InterMedia, how that was shown over here on the side as the title and the author. So if you go under story, you can see under story format, we're under sugarcane. If you wanted to change it to either of the others, so say Jonah, so what you can do is you can click, you can test play, so you don't have to save it again either. So this is under the Jonah format, so it'll keep a recurring, it'll keep saying what you've already done, it like keeps showing up, and you can always go back and click others and change your option that you chose. The last format that's available is the responsive. So under responsive, if you test play, it's kind of the same as the sugarcane, just kind of different setup, but it's not the same as the Jonah, how it has different, how it keeps showing what you've already done. So you can't click back automatically, you'd have to go restart and restart everything. So those are the three different formats, just like that. So once you can get the hang of that, then you can get into more details such as setting variables, and that will allow you to change the outcome of the story based on what the player chooses. They can choose a specific option, and that will change a variable and then change the outcome of their options and their choices and everything like that. So stay tuned for further tutorials, and I'll teach you a bit more. Thanks for watching.